sometimes we do. We decide like, well, I'm going to stay in this place either physically or mentally, because it feels comfortable and less scary, I guess. And so that the song is kind of like, well, no, that existed and it's gone, and it's time to move forward and to let it be what it was, but also don't let it define what's coming.
Welcome to the Better Each Day podcast radio show with Bruce Hilliard. Today and every day, reaching out for innovative ideas in every way. Today's show is brought to you by your future. It comes with a lifetime guarantee. Make a better each day now, baby. Better in every way.
Oh, just let it go. Just let it be. Just let it fade to a memory. Time heals all wounds, they say. And oh, they don't know you, and they don't know me, and they don't understand.
Our guests are friends, teacher and understudy, and performing together October 6th at the Rockwood Music Hall in New York City. Renée Catrine and returning guest Ingrid Oscarsson. Ingrid's last one. So,
okay.
What did I hear? Cool. A cat there?
Oh, there he is. He's like, no. I have something to say. Wait a minute.
Yeah. Get the mic on the cat. What was the cat's name?
Yeah. Omar.
Omar's a dude. Okay, it's a dude cat.
Yeah. He's a dude. He's a big dude. 20 pounds.
How are y'all doing this morning?
Doing well. Doing great.
And I say this morning, it's Pacific Daylight Time this morning, and it's not where you guys are, but you're still drinking coffee, so we'll call it morning.
Yeah, it's morning for me.
So the cool thing is Ingrid's opening for Renée.
Actually, I think we're going to switch it because Ingrid is releasing her very beautiful EP called Break Free, and I thought it was more of a momentous occasion. So I think I'm going to open up for her.
Well, so generous, but yeah.
Well, that's good. So you're friends from back years, or how long have you known each other?
Probably maybe like 5 or 6 years ago. Renée was actually my teacher in Chicago. That's how we met.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Was she a good teacher?
Absolutely.
No.
I mean, look.
Were you a good student?
Terrible. She moved to New York.
I know. And she followed. So.
Oh, you moved first. Why New York?
When I came here, I didn't want to go home. So, I thought that I needed to try to live here, and I don't regret it. I've never looked back.
I've been somewhat of a gypsy myself. There's Omar.
Yeah, there's Omar.
Let's talk about a couple of your songs.
On the first record, my first debut solo album is Arrival, and that's the one that's currently on my website. I think Distant Song is something that I always find I really enjoy playing that one, and it's just a fun song for me. So
when you play it, you enjoy doing it? We
have violins on it, and
I noticed that you have some orchestration.
Yeah, it just has like an
songs.
overall like a good groove, and my friend Mike Przygoda did a lot of the arrangements for like the strings. There's a string quartet had on there, and then Felipe Torres, who we both played with in Chicago at our show a couple weeks ago, he did the violin solo on that track, and I really think he just understood what feeling I was going for with that song, and I think he captured it well.
Distant sound, foreign land, far off skies where dreams begin. Timeless haunt, chimes that spark the poet's muse, the artist's fire. Sing your tune, plead your case, call to arms, there's no debate. to change my views. So I ran to distant lands in hopes of finding something true. But you need not travel far to find the answers that you seek. They are much closer. Oh, we are ready to see.
Do you play live with the strings?
I did. Well, my album release show in Chicago in August of 2016, I did. I hired a string quartet, and it was a blast. The people in the audience loved it. Like, you just don't, I guess a lot of rock shows now, you don't really get the full, like, string quartets very much anymore. And, but, when I'm doing a smaller show, like, we're playing Rockwood on October 6th in New York City. Mm-hmm. And it's, I'm going to have a violinist and, just bass, drums, guitar, keys, more pared down. But whenever I'm able to, I love to incorporate larger sounds. I just am a big fan of, like, lush arrangements.
There's no way to duplicate it either, in my belief.
Yeah, right.
There's lots of electronic stuff that's sort of okay, but it doesn't come across the same. Moody Blues, you're familiar with them, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they originally, they wrote Days of Future Past to have an orchestra, but they ran into problems with, obviously it's expensive to hire that many musicians to play. So somebody came up with the idea of the Mellotron, which was basically tape loops of an orchestra for each note. So you could play it on a keyboard.
Wow.
and it would play the tape loop.
Yeah.
But yeah, how mechanically insane is that? The tape loops would break, or there's a lot of mechanical things involved in it. So they'd take that thing on the road, and eventually the Beatles got one. Very, very expensive.
But I also think it's just interesting to have. Yeah, it's very expensive. But I think it's interesting having, like, if you've got a good energy with another musician, there's no way to replicate that through a computer or, from an audience perspective. I mean, like, when you're seeing a band perform, like, I'm always more interested in, like, the connection between the musicians on stage.
Absolutely.
Do you find it to be true in the studio as well? I mean, sometimes you...
Absolutely. Yeah, I think so. Although the studio, you can, people can play, so they are not all playing together necessarily at the same time. So it's not necessarily the same energy, but as the stage is. So, but yeah, I think, the studio, if people are playing together, it's the same thing.
Don't always have the luxury of doing that, but whenever possible. So Ingrid, you were on the show about a month ago.
Right.
I think.
Yeah, in Chicago. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you've been playing since, I trust, and I think the interview probably made you world famous, and you got $2 million to do the episode.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so everybody does.
Well, we haven't had any shows, or I haven't had any shows, but we've been doing some open mics, so...
Those are important.
I'm excited to be back. Yeah, no, they're very important.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great way to keep your chops and meet people.
But we're looking forward to the show on October 6th at Rockwood, so...
And you just finished one. Let me see here. Martyrs in Chicago.
Martyrs in Chicago. Right.
So
our last show.
Do you bounce back between Chicago and New York?
I go back maybe once a year or something. Oh. I don't have family. I have friends there still, but I think Renee probably has more
I go back all the time.
Yeah.
Chicago. So back to Renee. You have a song called Yesterday that also has, it's kind of a country feel to it. What was the inspiration behind Yesterday?
Choosing, I guess, not to stay stuck in a place that sometimes we do. We decide, like, well, I'm going to stay in this place either physically or mentally, because it feels comfortable and less scary, I guess. And so that the song is kind of like, well, no, that existed and it's gone, and it's time to move forward and to let it be what it was, but also don't let it define what's coming.
Yesterday will not show up at my door, will not walk across my floor, it only makes me wait. Yesterday will not call to talk with me, it does not make great company, it is silent every day. All I wanted was to find a pulse in the still heart of this flatline love, but I must go, release its frozen hand, step out in the sunlight again. Yesterday always stays just out of reach, denies what today can teach, relies on history. Yesterday will not sway or change its tune, its form is fixed and woven through the fabric of the past. All I wanted was to find a pulse in the still heart of this flatline love, but I must go, release its frozen hand, step out in the sunlight again. 'Cause I do not want to live this way, no, I do not want to stay, so I turn my heel from this parade and leave this sad place, and leave this sad memory. Dee-da-da, dee-da-da-da, dee-da-da, dee-da-da-da, dee-da-da, dee-da-da-da-da. Dee-da-da, dee-da-da-da, dee-da-da, dee-da-da-da, dee-da-da, dee-da-da-da-da. All I wanted was to find a pulse in the still heart of this flatline love, but I must go, release its frozen hand, step out in the sunlight again. All I wanted was to find a pulse in the still heart of this flatline love, but I must go, release its frozen hand, step out in the sunlight again, step out in the sunlight again, step out in the sunlight again.
Meow. So, Ray, you have a song called Oh, and it's kind of a shuffle, but again, it has strings in it, and it sounds really good.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that my friend Mike Przygoda, he I've worked and known him for a long time, and he I feel like he just gets more where I'm coming from, just intuitively, like musically, like what I'm trying to express in a song. And I brought the songs for him, like I did, scratch recordings on piano and guitar or whatever, and I'd be like, this is kind of my idea, and then he really like helps me flesh it out with the other instrumentation, and so I give a lot of credit to him for getting it to sound the way it sounds. And yeah, I experimented with a lot of different feels to that song, and I ultimately wanted something that was more upbeat, and I have a lot of fun playing that one live.
It's one of those songs that it's happy music with sad lyrics.
Yeah, well, I grew up on The Cure, so it's ingrained in me.
Oh, just let it go. Just let it be, just let it fade to a memory. Time heals all wounds, they say. And oh, they don't know you, and they don't know me, and they don't understand our love. I try to forget you, make believe it wasn't real, erase all the memories, but I just can't seem to quit. They tell me to wait, but how can I stay idle while my heart breaks? And oh, I know that it's through, and I still love you, but that don't mean that I need you. I tried to forget you, make believe it wasn't real, erase all the memories, but I just can't seem to quit. So don't go planning your comeback, just as I prepared to say. I gave you so many chances, you just threw them in my face. All the memories, but I just can't seem to quit. I try to forget you, make believe it wasn't real, erase all the memories, but I just can't seem to quit.
Do you guys get nervous before you perform?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Just good energy. Once you're playing, you're not nervous anymore.
No, I still...
Really?
You know, like, it's interesting. Like, I feel like my last show, the one we played at Martyrs in Chicago, I felt the most confident I've ever been on stage, in terms of, you know, my own song and knowing what I'm going for and be able to express that. And that was a really great feeling. But you're still, when you're performing, you're still getting all the sounds back in the monitor, which is very different than how you rehearsed, and which is very different than the sound check that you did, you know, an hour prior, and you're like adjusting. So like, you know, you're like trying to hear things, you know, and also produce sound at the same time. So I think it's a lot of like, you're getting energy from the crowd, you're like feeding off of that, you're responding to what you're hearing, which is changing as they adjust levels.
It's sensory overload.
And then you're also like, I mean, in a way, like, and you're also like, how am I feeling? Like, how am I, you know, physically like reacting to, like, do I feel like I'm singing well? Or, you know, sometimes you get in your head, but I felt like the last show I was able to like kind of let a lot of that go, which was, it felt very freeing. So it was fun. Still nervous though. Practice. Yeah, that is a lot of juggling. And for some reason, for those of you who have never been on stage and dealt with monitors, it sounds a little bit different.
every time, every stage, every room, every sound engineer, so many variables, and it's never perfect. But yeah, you guys are pretty experienced. After a while, you just get pretty good at it, no matter what. That was a make you proud compliment there. So I hope you're happy with that.
Well, also you know what to ask for from the sound person. So you just are more like,
and be really nice to them.
Need and what you don't need, and how to express that. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
They're your best friend. I promised Ingrid I would play one of her songs. Here is Ingrid Oscarsson, Come Back to Peace. I was hoping Omar would come up and do a solo.
Well, he was trying to, but he's...
Mike had...
Renee has a
Mike
cat
just
too?
started talking.
Oh.
I've got two.
Oh. Can they do harmony?
Can they harmonize with Omar?
Midnight.
Renee was just talking, but now she's shy, so I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much for your time, and it's wonderful talking to both of you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
I wish you the best in the future, and I think you're going to exceed your expectations. Saturday, October 6th at 8:30 p.m. at the Rockwood Music Hall in New York City. Renée Catrine and Ingrid Oscarsson performing live.
Yesterday will not show up at my door, will not walk across my floor, it only makes me wait. Yesterday will not call to talk with me, it does not make great company, it is silent every day. All I wanted was to find a pulse in the still heart of this flatline love, but I must go, release its frozen hand, step out in the sunlight again. Yesterday always stays just out of reach, denies what today can teach, relies on history. Yesterday will not sway or change its tune, its form is fixed and woven through the fabric of the past. All I wanted was to find a pulse in the still heart of this flatline love, but I must go, release its frozen hand, step out in the sunlight again.
Listening to the Better Each Day podcast radio show with Bruce Hilliard. We'll be back with a new horizon, but until then, honor the future. It comes with a lifetime guarantee.
And we're all just trying to make the next day a bit better.